against what the government, agenda is, it seems, they get snuffed out. You look at John Lennon, you look at all these different people, and, we could get into the mind control patsy aspect of what's his name, Lee Harvey or any of these folks that committed these crimes. I mean, half of them didn't remember it. Half of them just, the guy who killed...
It's the same thing with Sirhan. It's the same thing with McVeigh. And then they publicly had Jolyon West, the head MK-Ultra doctor, for the years it took him for the trial. And then when he was on death row in his execution, Jolyon West was with McVeigh until the very end, a top mind control doctor.
Yeah, it's insane, man. And it's like, it's such a proven, that they've done that is like proven history. It's not
declassified, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's just scary, and you just watch how, like, I saw you on that show, the Jesse Ventura show, because I wasn't sure when I saw that show on TV. I was like, is this disinformation? Because I couldn't believe that a major network would run a show about this kind of stuff. But they tackle some very interesting things on there. I mean, I was watching the mind control episode, and just that they were, the kind of things they were talking about and experiments they were testing, it was pretty eye-opening.
Well, I'll tell you this. Ventura is for real. He set out to find... He thought global warming was real till he found that it was all a fraud, and that show aired right as all the fraud came out. The system can't ignore all of this. They've got to let a little bit of it out now as a steam valve, and that's even what Ventura thinks they're doing. But no, that show was done from a pure position. I mean,
wow.
I convinced Ventura of a lot of it.
Well, I knew when I saw you and Ike on there that I was like, that there's no way that you guys would associate with something if it wasn't the real deal. I just, it was shocking to me the first day I ever saw it, because I couldn't believe they would let that on that Time Warner, who owns that company, would let.
Well, they've been trying to cover it up for decades, and so it made it even more taboo and more avant-garde and more hot. So now they're allowing a little bit of it out there, but just a little bit. Now, we're about to go to another song. When we come back from break, you'll tell us about the song Don't Feed the Animals. Then we'll rejoin with King, more Will-O-The-Wisp. We'll be right back with Shooter Jennings, shooterjennings.com, ladies and gentlemen. You can buy the full album starting tomorrow at the website shooterjennings.com. We'll tell you about other places to get it as well after this quick break. And we'll also talk about Shooter Jennings working with the legendary Stephen King to write the spoken word that you're going to hear when we come back out of break with Stephen King. More of Shooter Jennings and Hierophant straight ahead.
As the economy continues to decline, patriots across the nation are preparing for the worst. The world is changing fast. Are you fully prepared? Or will you be forced to eat government soup? At patriotfood.com, we offer you 135 pounds of dehydrated food and 6 varieties of canned meat for half price. And at survivalistseeds.com, we now offer 50 non-GMO varieties of vegetables and over 10,000 heirloom seeds. That's twice as many as our competition for the same price. PatriotFood.com and SurvivalistSeeds.com. Food insurance, just in case. Owned by me, Big John Lipscomb, host of Don't Tread on Me radio show.
Hundreds of nations have fallen to tyranny in the last century alone. This is our last chance to not relive history.
As we're finishing off this agenda, they'll be pulling the rug from underneath Americans at home.
They have tremendous influence on our president and Congress, and they really are calling the shots.
I think it's incumbent upon all of us as American citizens to pay attention.
Fall of the Republic identifies the enemies of our nation, the criminal offshore cartel, hell-bent on destroying sovereignty, and on its ashes constructing world government.
Tim Geithner, Bernanke, they're arsonists. They're asking for more matches. And the Congress is saying, who do we make the check out to?
Today, it seems like nobody does care. And right now in Washington, D.C., we have seen a fall of the Republic.
Get your copy of Fall of the Republic on DVD at Infowars.com or watch it online right now in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Hello. At OfTheField.com, we strive to empower you with wild food preparedness. We get lots of amazing positive feedback, most of which we feature on OfTheField.com. Here's a small sample of all that people like you have to say about the wild food experience.
It's inspiring for many who are affected by the recent downturn of the economy.
I already knew a bit about foraging and edibles, but you take it to a whole new level.
1,000 thanks to you for all that great knowledge. It was empowering.
When I was in the Navy, I went through a couple of quick land survival classes.
Thank you for being an inspiration and for all the work that you do.
I really appreciate the depth and detail of the information.
Thank you so much.
Much love and respect to you from all of us here in the boonies.
Thanks again.
Knowledge is power, and that power brings peace.
Folks, thanks for letting us help you get back to basics. Read all of the testimonials at ofthefield.com. You can order online for you and your loved ones or call 1-888-51-EAT-FREE to share in the secret.
There's a book by an author named Carol S. Pearson from the mid-'70s called The Hero Within, 6 Archetypes We Live By. Even though it's nearly 40 years old, the book still speaks of the journey each of us takes through our lives. The innocent, the orphan, the wanderer, the warrior, the martyr, the magician. We float between these identities. They change as the phases of our lives take center stage, one after the other. Today I feel like a martyr, but tomorrow I'll be a warrior. For even though my time as the magician is drawing to an end, the innocent in me will continue to believe in hope, in love, and that the goodness of humanity will prevail. Here's Hierophant's take on the journey from innocence to experience, which is another way of saying from innocence to orphanhood.
All right, and that's part. There's more of Stephen King and some of the intros, the music. We're going to go out here in a moment. We got the best for last coming up in the next hour with Stephen King and, of course, the music of Shooter Jennings and Hierophant. The website, shooterjennings.com. The album premieres tomorrow. Let me ask you this. What would your father think of what's happening in the world today? What would Waylon Jennings think about what you're doing?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say because he passed away. It was right after 9/11. I mean, you know, he wasn't someone who was very outspoken politically, because I believe that he didn't like to be like a lot of these other artists that'll go out there and just jibber-jabber about it all the time. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, my dad's heart was in the love of the people around you, and that I think he believed that, you know, that America at times have been on the right track. But I definitely feel like he would feel that what was going on right now was a very scary period. And, you know, I think in some way or another he's heard this record, and I think that he would agree with me. I mean, I believe that the kind of overall message of this record is about the people that are close to you and how important your family is and your friends and the love and that your micro community in your life, because everything outside of that is a disaster. And it's like, if you can just nurture the things on a small level, I think, that's what's important. And I think he would have definitely stood by that message, But he would have been proud of it, though.
Absolutely. Well, I know I'm certainly just proud that you're premiering this here today. ShooterJennings.com. The album is Black.